All right, BSP University call. They are interested enough in the content that you are offering them that they're willing to reach in their pocket, pull out their credit card, type in the digits, give you $6.95 and raise their hand with all their information, their name, their address, their telephone number, their contact information, all that stuff, and say, you know what, I want that. And here's the interesting thing. If they're that interested in giving you just even $6.95, which basically covers the cost of the book and shipping it to them, when you pay cost for it, you now have an opportunity to sell them many additional things, okay? So here's the idea. So just this week, I received 2 newsletters. I'm part of Frank Kern's Inner Circle. I spend $397 a month to basically get this newsletter. You go, wow, $400 a month? That's like a car payment for just this newsletter. But it's fantastic marketing information. And I'm part of Russell Brunson's Inner Circle, which is a $25,000 a year program. And he sends out this newsletter as a part of Funnel U. In fact, I am going to ask him if I can share this with all of you guys in BSP University, because just this week, both of them talked specifically about a free plus shipping book funnel. You probably can't see this, but I posted this on my personal Facebook page. Frank basically says, and if you know anything about online marketing, Frank is one of the biggest online marketers in the world. He says, in this chapter, I'm going to show you the one thing that trumps all marketing. I can't actually say I've tested every imaginable method, but of everything I've personally tested, this is killer. It's the book funnel. Here's how the book funnel works. And I'm going to explain the breakdown of the book funnel. But Frank, just this week, talked about the book funnel. And Russell actually broke down his entire book funnel that he has been using with his latest book, Expert Secrets. Now, we helped Russell in the launch of Expert Secrets as well as .com Secrets. And he paid our company, BSP, to do all of the PR for him, which is cool. So we're doing TV, radio, and that kind of thing. But the amazing thing is this is a good sized book too. It's like close to 270 pages. He is doing a free plus shipping funnel with this. And for every free book he gives away, he earns $41 and change. Okay. So for every free book he puts into people's hands, free plus $7.95, he earns over $41. And the cool thing is he explains and breaks down every single one of the steps on how he does that. So going back, remember what I said about Dan Kennedy? A buyer is a buyer is a buyer. So somebody that has pulled out their credit card and said, I am willing to get this free book and give you $6.95 for shipping, is also right at that moment, at that exact instant, they're willing to give you more money. So if you have the pieces in place on your website, what we would call a funnel, a book funnel, then you can immediately monetize those people that you're giving a free book away. So what Russell does is he has what he calls an OTO, or a one-time offer. And his first one-time offer, and I don't know if you can see this real well, but his first one-time offer, as soon as they put their credit card information, it then goes to this page with him on a video. And the first one-time offer is to get now a bundle of his audiobooks plus his perfect webinar training secrets for $97, or he'll ship them physically to you for $147. So they just put their credit card in saying, I want Expert Secrets because I really want to learn about this. And then Russell then says, well, if you want to learn about that, here's the cool thing. I've written other books. I wrote .com Secrets, and I've also done both of these books in audio. And I want to give you a bundle of both of my books and all of the audio versions of it. And I'm going to give it to you on a little MP3 player, just like that. Plus, I'm going to give you my perfect webinar secrets training, and all of that is an upsell of $147. You may say, wow, Rob, can you really go from, a $6.95 or a $7.95 purchase all the way to the first offer of being $97 or $197? And look, the fact is you absolutely can do that. So here's the cool thing. He gives the statistics on what he has done, how he's been accomplishing that. So his first order bump, which he calls the funnel hacker black box, and then the order form bump, he gets 13.9% of the people to take him up on that offer. So let's just use round numbers. If 100 people buy the book get the free book plus the $6.95 for shipping and handling, 14 of those 100 people will pay him between $100 and $147 in that very first upsell. So 14 out of every 100 people that are buying, because law of big numbers, these are statistics, will give him an extra $100 to $147 by clicking one button and simply adding that to the shopping cart. Now, he doesn't stop there. You can, but why would you? Because you have people that are raising their hands now and saying they're really, really interested. So he then takes them to the next path. And the next path is if 86 people didn't buy, right? 14 did, 86 didn't. He then takes those 86 and he gives them what's called a downsell. In other words, he offers a cheaper version of it because maybe they felt like 97 was too much. So they would buy something similar for $47. And he gets 7.94% of those people to buy that. Here's the interesting thing. He then has upsell number 2. And you may say, Rob, I mean, that's too many moving parts. That's too many offers. Well, he gets 3.1%. So this is out of 100. So 3 more people out of 100 take his one-time offer number 2, which is, guess what? It's $997. It's $1,000. It's a whole part of his program that he offers, and he sells it really, really well. So 3 people out of 100 actually pay him $1,000 on top of the 14 that paid him $100 to $150 and the 100 that paid him $6.95 for the free plus shipping. So what does it all add up to? It all adds up to $41.78 per free book that he's giving away. Now, here's the cool thing. In the first month, it says here, I'll read it to you. It says, we're in the middle of the launch right now as I'm writing this. So our office is going crazy, but we're trying to have fun with it. We just crossed the $900,000 mark. This is in the first month, which is super exciting. This will be $1 million funnel very soon. He's doing $1 million, did almost $1 million in the first month by earning $41.78 for every free book that he is giving away. Now, I showed you a couple of these other books. This is Shanda's book. This is Kalen's book. Both Shanda and Kalen are doing this and doing over 6 figures a month. These are books that we've launched. We launched this for Kalen. We created this and launched this. Plus we did PR and all that other stuff for Kalen. And both of them are using their books at the front end of a free plus shipping funnel and doing 6 figures a month, over $100,000 a month with a free plus shipping funnel. Now, look, there's moving parts. You can't just share this on your Facebook page and have that many sales, right? So you have to have the advertising in place. You have to be able to scale the traffic. But I want you to understand that this kind of offer can work with any book. It really can. You say, well, Rob, I'm a fiction author or I write children's books. It won't work for me. Absolutely, it'll work for you. 100% it will. What could you do? Well, you could, first of all, if you're writing fiction or if you're writing children's books, then understand this. You can't just write one book and make hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars. It just doesn't work that way. I mean, even Harry Potter, there are volumes of Harry Potters, right? So the idea is you have to write volumes of books. So if you offered volume 1 as a free plus shipping funnel, and then you upsold them to volume 2, 3, and 4, plus gave them the audio versions of all of that, plus put it in a really nice packaging, you could sell something like that for $100 or $150. You could even add other things to that offer, like plush toys or something else that would fit in. Now, I'm giving you a hard example, fiction or children's books. If you're any type of business owner, then you need to understand this. If you have customers now, then guess what? Your customers are on social media, your customers are on Google, and right now they are looking for answers to the problems that they have in their life. You need to use your book, and maybe it's not done yet, But you need to use your book at the front end of a funnel that then sells additional products and services. And it could be products, it could be other volumes of the book, it could be an audio version of the book, it could be services that you're doing, it could be coaching or consulting or any of those kinds of things. We are pushing more and more of this because right now, as evidenced by this newsletter and this newsletter just in the past week, there isn't a funnel online that is working any better than this one is. It is by far the best type of attraction piece to take people from offline into your business and to buy your stuff. Now, I share a lot of different ways for you to use your books to make money. You don't have to be an expert online marketer to do it. But if you have some chops or you're willing to invest in people doing the ad work for you and various other things, which I can't be an expert at everything. I pay people to run ads for me, YouTube, Facebook, etc. And you don't have to start way up here. You can start low and then build it up as you're making a return on your investment. Point being is there's lots of different ways to use your book to attract clients, to make money, and you can even do it in an automatic way. And a book funnel is probably as close to an ATM as anything I've ever seen, just like what Russell is doing. He's doing the same thing with his other book. This is Expert Secrets. His other book is .com Secrets, which published and we helped launch like 2.5 years ago. And that book is still doing 100,000 plus a month through his various funnels and then brings them into ClickFunnels' program. So anyway, that is a lot of information. Irene says, wow, exclamation point. That's, we've gone for, 10, 12, 15 minutes, something like that. But I wanted to share with you, and I want to give you a vision if you're still in the process of creating your book, because, at one point, both of these ladies were as well, and now they're doing 6 figures plus a month from their books. So I want to give you a vision of what you can do. And I want you to understand that there's lots of different ways for you to use a book to attract clients, to build your business, and to make money. And again, it works with fiction, it works with children's books, and of course it works in every single niche when it comes to any type of business or nonfiction book. So, and just so I say it, my latest book is about 85% or so away from completion. Not 85% away, but 85% complete. And that is going to be the front end of our free plus shipping funnel for bestseller publishing. Because in the past, all we did primarily were services, done for you services, but now we're doing more and more products where we're letting people that can't afford, $13,000 or $25,000 to pay us to do all of this for them. We're selling products where people can invest their own time, but we'll simply train you and teach you how to do it. And so that is not something that would require an actual sales call. That's something that can all be sold via a free plus shipping book funnel. So, that's a lot. I had a lot to share with you guys since I've been out for the last couple of weeks, and both of these newsletters coming in really inspired me to talk more about free plus shipping funnels. You'll be seeing me talk more about that over the next coming days and weeks, because especially for you guys that are getting your books done or your books are almost complete, these are things that you really need to look closely at. And, it's not something that you can do overnight. You can use your books in a lot of simple ways, like to get speaking engagements. There's training in the BSP University back office on, simple processes that you can start doing immediately to get speaking engagements. There are simple things that you can do immediately to start attracting clients and clients that see you as the authority, et cetera. And so the free plus shipping book funnel is much more complicated. There's a lot more moving parts, but when you crack it, it's like magic. It's like, wow, money is just showing up in my account and I'm getting my book into thousands of people's hands. In fact, the biggest complaint that Shanda has is Shanda's free plus shipping book funnel. She offers a signed copy of her book and she's had to sign like 10,000 plus books. So she's like, oh man, Rob, my hand hurts, because she's writing like a personal note to every single person. You don't have to do that. Although I think it's really cool that Shanda's doing it. She is a very high touch business. So, she wants to take those people that buy her book and move them into her coaching and consulting, which which she charges $10,000 to $20,000 for. So that's a lot. There's a bunch of you on. What questions do you have for me? I'm happy to answer any questions that you have about the free plus shipping book funnel, how our various clients are using it, how others are using it. I gave you some of the theory behind it. A buyer is a buyer is a buyer is the theory. You know, if they're willing to pay $695, then a percentage of them are willing to pay $97, $150, even $1,000 or more. And that always holds to be true. Or maybe you have a question about a part of the process that you're in. Maybe we're doing it for you and you have a question about it, or maybe you're studying this stuff and trying to do it on your own and you have some questions. So now is the time to type in the chat box the question that you have, and I will gladly answer it for you. And if you don't have a question and you just enjoyed being on, then that's okay too. I'll sign off and I'll go get some lunch before my next telephone call. That's all good with me. So Irene has a question. Okay, Irene, you shoot. Type it in. If you like, I can unmute you and you can ask your question live. I'm happy to do that.
All
Irene,
right.
can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
We can hear you as well.
Oh, hi. Nice to finally meet you. I only joined yesterday, so.
Wow. Well, nice to meet you too. Welcome.
Yeah, thank you very much. I wanted to ask about obviously the free plus shipping that you've been talking about today.
Yes.
And if you're starting out, obviously you don't have all of, excuse me, you don't have all of those packages, like say people like Russell Bronson. You wouldn't have all of that in place.
Right.
So, because I'm a musician, so I have a CD and I say for example, and I have some merchandise, so like a T-shirt or something. Is that something that would work in sort of partnership with that, or do I have to then wait, or what other suggestions would you recommend?
Yeah, good question. So you want the upsells, right? The one-time offers to be as congruent with your book and what your book is about as possible, right? So
Okay.
if, for example, your book were about your music or about music theory or something, then it certainly isn't incongruent to offer a CD or to offer something like merchandise or something like that. If your book has no congruency with the music or the merchandise, then no, I would not recommend that you do that, because they're not going to buy. They've raised their hand saying, I want Shanda's book, How to Build a Business That Gives You a Freedom Lifestyle in 2 years or less. And so if her first upsell, and I've shared her funnel before, and I can share it again in various links, but if her first upsell were a CD or something like that, or merchandise, it wouldn't be congruent for people. But instead, her first upsell could be like the audio version of the book, or it could be something like, Shanda has two upsells. One is $1,000, one is like $147. The $1,000 upsell is her whole sales process, how she helps people to close high ticket sales, and she offers that for $1,000. The other one I can't remember, but it's congruent with building a lifestyle business. And so you've got to keep the offers congruent. And so I would say if they're not, then just build them out slowly. Just like writing your book is a process, so too is creating good content, to sell on the back end.
Right. Okay. Cool. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Great to have you. Welcome to BSP.
Thank you.
Okay, awesome. Let's see. Got another question here from, is it Kiss? Hi, Kiss. I'm a long way away from free plus shipping. I don't have multiple books or multiple products. I'm working on my first chapter for Kevin Harrington's book, Beautiful. Can you say a little more about the options, ideas for early stage authors to develop a funnel? This might be a similar question to the previous question. So Kiss, and I don't know that that's your name, so can I unmute you? Can you hear me? Kiss? Hello, Kiss? No? Okay, so, all right, so I'm just going to, Carl, it's Carl. Thanks, Carl. Sorry about that. It comes up KIS on Zoom. So, Carl, yeah, totally understand your question. So, I'm looking for Kevin's book because I usually has his last version on my desk. So you could, yeah, no problem. You got a noisy background. So you can absolutely, use the book a number of different ways. So you can use the chapter that you're doing in Kevin Harrington's book in all the ways that we talk about using it that are outside of a free plus shipping funnel. So that would be using the book as an authority and a credibility piece to get PR and media, using the book to get speaking engagements by sending it to conference organizers, association organizers, etc., showing them that you're an authority, a partner with Kevin Harrington. Plus, if you purchase that, I imagine you're also getting a video endorsement, which was a small upsell, which will even boost your credibility even further. So, to attract new clients, all of those kinds of things when it comes to a more analog way, you can do. Now, when it comes to the free plus shipping funnel, you can absolutely also use this book. You can use the Kevin Harrington book as part of your free plus shipping funnel, as long as what you're offering on the back end of your free plus shipping funnel is congruent with the book itself, as well as what you wrote in the book. So if it's not congruent, then you're better off not using it. But if you have something that is congruent with, Kevin Harrington's book, his last one, Put a Shark in Your Tank. If someone looks at that and goes, okay, that is a business related book, and I have these business challenges, and you offer it as, a free part of a free plus shipping funnel, and then offer, a first upsell on, how to take your business from 6 figures to 7 figures in 1 year. And let's say it's a whole mind map on creating it. You offer that for $47 or something along those lines. In other words, if you offer something that is congruent, then you absolutely can use the Kevin Harrington book to do it. It is a little bit more difficult, obviously, because you have, multiple authors that are contributing to it besides yourself. So you may be writing on a very specific topic for you and your story, and someone else is writing on a very different topic that is specific to their story. So it does make it more difficult. But everything that we teach as far as using the book in an analog way, and that's sending the book for speaking engagements and PR and media and using the book to attract clients and all of that, absolutely, that is 100% applicable because that shows your authority and your credibility. So, Carl, I hope that makes sense. If you want a little bit more details, if you want to share what specifically your expertise is, what it is that your business is, what you're writing about, then I might be able to give you some ideas based on that. But otherwise, hopefully that makes sense and that's helpful. Let me answer Pia's question in the meantime. Hi, Pia. Pia says, would you suggest using the ClickFunnels process landing pages without building a website? So short version, Pia, I would absolutely, because they're so simple. I love ClickFunnels. Let me see if I can share my screen. So we're building a new webinar funnel that is going to offer products and programs for bestseller publishing. So let me show you that right now. So I'm sharing the screen. So this is a landing page that we're building right now. And here's the interesting thing. This landing page was shared with me with another client of mine, in fact, Taki Moore, and I'll show you guys this in a second. But we helped Taki to do his book, and my business partner, Kevin, is building out Taki's funnel. And so this is Taki's funnel right here, which he's doing not a free plus shipping, but a webinar funnel. And this was so good. All this is built in ClickFunnels. I said, you know what? We're going to take this share funnel and we're basically going to do it exactly for my webinar. And so all these pages get pre-built out. All I have to do is change out the copy, which this isn't all changed out yet. All I have to do is change out the copy, change out the image, some of the details, the links, and I don't have to pay a programmer to recreate this entire website for me. So again, this is the book. This is Taki's book that we did for him. And, because my business partner, Kevin, who runs ads and traffic and builds funnels outside of BSP, is working on Taki stuff, I was like, Taki, this is great. Just share that funnel with me and we'll do the exact same thing. So I always suggest ClickFunnels because it's just so easy. It's so easy to, I can share these funnels with you. You're my client. I'm happy to share. And then you, of course, can build it out however you like. So I always suggest ClickFunnels. If you want like a free trial for ClickFunnels, you can go to authorfunnels.com and you can get a free 2-week trial of ClickFunnels. If you want to get like his full offer, which is like all of this training and 6 months of enterprise edition of ClickFunnels, it's $1,000, but it's well worth it. That's what I bought when I first got started. I think it is, let me just double check. It's AuthorFunnels. I think it's authorfunnels.com/form. And it is. So I'll share that link with you as well so that you have that. There it is. So Irene says, already have lead pages for a year. I think ClickFunnels looks great though. So Irene, I get it. I was a user of lead pages for a long time. But about 3 years ago, when I started using ClickFunnels, I kept using both of them together for the same time, but ClickFunnels is just so far advanced. The stuff you can use in ClickFunnels is just, there's no comparison, and it's not that much more expensive for ClickFunnels. So I switched over everything from lead pages to ClickFunnels and just love it. And, obviously, lead pages, and if you want to stick with lead pages, totally fine. I can't share my funnels with you in lead pages, but you can even build like Pia asked, you can even build this stuff out by having a designer build out. You don't have to use lead pages. You don't have to use ClickFunnels. You don't have to use any of those things. I just find it a lot more helpful to be able to share pages and have everything kind of built in one place. So Pia says, thank you so much, Rob. That was very helpful. You are super welcome. My pleasure. Good. So what other questions do you have? I am here for you to answer your questions. Super glad that you're on with me today. And as I always say for these calls, I'm happy to answer any questions about the process that you're in, but primarily what I teach on these calls every Tuesday is how you can make money with your book, right? That's kind of my expertise, how you can use your book to generate leads, how you can use your book to generate PR, how you can use your book to grow your business and get to 7 figures and 8 figures and beyond if that's what you desire to do. So that's why I spend so much time talking about free plus shipping funnels. I'll talk more about that in the future because that's something that we're investing a lot of time on for both myself and my business, as well as seeing my clients do the same thing. So any other questions? I don't see any other questions. So I will go ahead and say adieu and sign off. Wait a minute. Irene says, do you suggest this at the start of the launch? Not necessarily, Irene. Obviously, the more you can have in place at the start of your launch, the better. You should have, like within the pages of your book, at the end of your chapters, you should have like lead magnets that lead people back to your website so that you can get their email address and give them a free video series or more information or something. Those things you should have. You don't have to. You can always do the free plus shipping funnel and various other things later. You don't, I guess, my opinion is, the sooner you start, the better. So if any of these things are going to hold you off from starting, then don't. Then put them in place as you go. And I promise you, they'll still continue to work. They'll keep working for you. Pia says, one last question. Where is the inventory kept for the free book? Amazon? ? So no, if you do a free plus shipping funnel, you do need a fulfillment center. So we recommend disc.com. That's DISK.com. Joe Foley is the CEO of Disc. He's a friend. He's a great guy. Amazon will not do a free plus shipping funnel because Amazon, is your partner. They don't want you giving the book away for free because they don't share in the upsells with you, right? Amazon wants you selling the book. So the book is going to be sold on Amazon. You'll have that listed for like $24.95. But what you'll have to do is you'll have to you can order 100 or 500, or, once you get your funnel going, you might want to order bigger bigger amounts, but you can order 50 or 100 to start as you're figuring all this out. And you'll pay cost for the book, which is only, you know, a book like Shanda's is only $3 or $4. You know, any of these books, couple 100 pages, you know, like Kalen's book, you know, maybe $4, you know, really, really well done. And then you'll ship that to Joe Foley, and he'll handle fulfillment of it. So there'll be a slight fulfillment charge, which will be included in shipping. And, you know, all of that will be included. But then the cool thing is it's seamless for you. You don't have to have stacks and stacks of books all over your office, and you don't want that part of it. I mean, you could to begin with, right? Like as you're figuring all this out, you could have 50 books and you could fulfill them, and you could, you know, like Shanda's doing some of this. Now she has a whole team. She has a multi-million-dollar business. So she has a whole team that helps with these various things. But for you know, starting this out smaller, you could do this and simply ship it out yourself. But eventually, as this gets rolling, you want to have a fulfillment center do it. And I'll type it in again, it's disc.com, Joe Foley. And if you want an introduction, or anybody wants an introduction to Joe, let me know. He's the CEO. He's a good friend. I don't make any money because we refer someone. So I just want to refer you to the right people that can help. And Joe does all of our stuff. So great question, though. What else do you have for me? Any other questions? We're going close to 40 minutes. So I am happy to sign off unless you guys, and I'll stay on as long as you need, as need be. Irene says, thank you. I'll give you guys 5 or 10 more seconds. If you have something, then go ahead and type it in. You can unmute yourself too if you have something and you just want to ask. That's fine too. Carl says, you confirm for next week, same time, same place. Answer is yes, same time, same place next week. And I'll be talking about a different subject. I may talk a little bit more about the free plus shipping, but a different aspect of it. I gave kind of an overview today. I'm not 100% sure, but yes, it's me and you, same time, same place next week. Guys, thanks so much. Great being with you. This has all been recorded, so it will be in our members area. And look forward to seeing you next week. Have a great day.